What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Marketing Nomad Show. It's your favorite marketer and podcast host, of course, guys, because I'm kind of talking over here. My name is Prit. For those of you who are new, I'm a marketing strategist, business owner, entrepreneur, animal lover, post-it obsessor, and I think it's pretty clear that these are pretty unscripted. All right, guys, what's up? I hope you guys are doing super awesome. Welcome to episode number 39. So in today's episode, first let me give you guys a little bit of a backstory because this episode is completely unscripted. Like, I just woke up this morning and I decided, yes, I'm going to record this episode. And there's a number of reasons for that, so let's get into that, okay? So this is gonna be a more chilled out episode. Of course, all my episodes are a little chilled out just because I upload episodes every single day. So I kind of want to make it a little bit more casual, a little bit more friendly, and kind of give that whole cool vibe. This is probably not going the way I intended it to go, but let's keep rolling with it. So for those of you who don't know, I actually got my first dose of COVID Shield on Monday, and today's Thursday. So I had recorded 3 episodes, and they kind of ended yesterday. So it's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I thought I'd be fine by Wednesday to record the next couple of episodes. I usually record about 2 or 3 at a time because I don't want to go too far down the line as well. In case there's new updates or there's something new that's happened that I really want to quickly give you guys an update about or talk about. So I personally don't batch my content for podcast episodes too far down the line, probably 2 or 3 at the most. So I did about 3 and then those ended on Wednesday, but I was just too sick. I kind of got all the possible symptoms you could get from the COVID vaccine. That's called COVID Shield, by the way. So I had body ache, severe body ache, and then chills all night, all day. I was literally like walking around with my this thick blanket that I do have. So I was walking around with it and thinking of myself as like a shaman, and I honestly don't even know which religion that comes under. But I was like, oh my God, this is how I look and stuff like that. And I was kind of making fun of myself, but I was in so much pain that I couldn't even laugh, and it was horrible. And then I had really high fever. And what else? Oh, yes. I also had a really bad headache as well. So the day I got it, like Monday, I'm not sure if I got it because of the vaccine or I got it because I was in the sun all day. And I think that was the first time in a year and a half that I had been exposed to so much sun because, I've been quarantining like myself very, very well, and I was not really exposing myself and stuff like that. I mean, everyone in my family too, but I in particular was a little paranoid, and I didn't want to go out in the sun too much. I mean, not particularly in the sun, but I just didn't want to go outside and stuff like that, and keeping my outside interactions to a minimum. So for me, I think it was just a shock to my body to be out in the sun for so long after like a year and a half to 2 years. So that was, a year and a half. 2 years is exaggeration. But it was so bad. I was literally on bed rest for 2 days. And then today, as you guys can see, I'm able to talk a little bit. I do have pain in my left arm though. But it's just, I thought I would shoot this podcast episode. And, I was thinking about what I would want to talk about. And of course, I do have like a whole list of podcast episode ideas. So I was looking through them and I picked out a couple, like 2 or 3 that I wanted to record today. And then I got a DM last night, okay? And the DM was, Prit, what happens if, Instagram gets banned tomorrow? And actually, for those of you who don't know, India is kind of going through this weird time where the Indian government has given WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram some ultimatum to make sure that they need to comply to the privacy policies and stuff like that. And if they don't, by the end of 3 months, then they will be banned just like all the other apps that India has banned so far, and the deadline for the 3-month period was the 25th of May 2021. Okay, so yesterday was the 26th and today's the 27th, and so naturally the internet's going crazy because, well, what else does the internet have to do other than panic over the things that you probably don't need to panic about. But that actually raised a pretty interesting question, and the question is, what happens if your social media platform gets banned tomorrow? And that's such a beautiful and interesting question because it can actually happen. It's very, very real, especially for us. I'm not exactly sure when TikTok was banned. Hold on, let me just type it out quickly as I'm on recording this podcast episode. But TikTok actually did get banned in India, and that was because there was some issues with the data and stuff like that. So it looks like TikTok was banned sometime in when was this? Was it this year? I think it was sometime this year. When did TikTok get banned in India? Oh my god, I can't multitask, guys. This is one of the worst things about me. Okay, yes, so it was banned June 29th, 2020. That was last year. So it's been quite a while. It's been almost a year that TikTok was banned, and it was banned along with 177 Chinese apps, and some of them were banned earlier apparently. So India banned TikTok permanently, and up until then it was like, oh, we're gonna ban this, oh, we're gonna ban, and then nobody took the government seriously because, well, they were, I guess, kind of used to the government just making threats and not taking action. But the government actually did take a very stringent action, and overnight, it was not even expected. Overnight, about 177 apps were just banned, okay? Not just TikTok, but everything else. And a lot of influencers actually lost their livelihood overnight. A lot of them were making money and earning through TikTok. They were literally earning good amounts of money. I mean, I was reading interviews around that time, and they were earning pretty good amounts of money, enough to not just survive, but actually live luxuriously in India. So based on all of that, okay, it was quite natural that, the whole country was a little bit in a frenzy, and is still in a frenzy, to be honest with you, that the government is going to ban. Though Facebook has actually let out a statement, as I saw as of yesterday's news, that, they are working with the Indian officials to come to an agreement. I think there might be some discrepancies there. So I think they're looking to find a common ground so that they can still, I guess, I would say take advantage, but I don't want to sound so mean, but well, it is true. It is a business for them as well. So I guess they want to hit that sweet spot of making business, but at the same time respecting the order or the laws of the government. So that's where we are at right now, and that's when this whole thing came. I know I spent a little bit of time talking about it, but I wanted to give you guys a good backstory before I got into this podcast episode. So like I was telling this person who reached out to me last night, and it was like Prit in capital letters, and it was like, Prit, what happens if, is it gonna get banned? What happens? And then this was my answer, because that actually made me take a pause, and I was like, yes, this is actually a fantastic question. Let's talk about it. So today's podcast episode is going to be what happens if Instagram, or, well, any social media platform that you do get on or choose, gets banned. What do you do? So this is something that I always tell my one-on-one clients or anyone I ever speak to, is that, I know it sounds obvious, guys, but bear with me. You do not own any of these social media platforms. All right, you do not own the rights to your accounts. You do not own any part of the social media aspect of your accounts. If your account gets hacked, if your account gets deleted, if your account gets blocked, if your account, I don't know, tomorrow just ends up vanishing into thin air, there is nothing you can do. Okay? I'm sorry to kind of burst your bubble, but you do not own any of it. There is nothing you can do. There is nothing you can do to get back your data, your information, all of those things. And it's pretty sucky, I know, I understand. But I think that when you approach social media platforms, you need to understand the fundamental thing that does not belong to you. Okay? And I do want to put in a very good example that just happened about 2 weeks ago. So I follow this really cool tarot reader on YouTube, and I'm not sure if I should mention her name due to laws and copyright issues, but she's awesome. Okay. And she's got about 345k subscribers on YouTube, and she's made over thousands of sales on Etsy with her products and stuff like that. Okay. And unfortunately, all of a sudden, her Etsy account, and this is someone who's made tens and thousands. I think she's made over 5 figures in revenue on Etsy. Okay, let's just be clear about that. So suddenly, overnight, she just lost her account. Etsy just ended up blocking it, and it's been 2 weeks and she's still struggling to kind of get that up and running and all of that, and she's lost all her all the stuff that she put online, all the products that she put, all of those things, every single thing. Her life has literally come to a standstill. And luckily for her, and that was a huge wake-up call for her, she immediately hired a team to set up her website, and now she has those products on her website as well. So I think that the fundamental thing about social media is that we use it so much, and it kind of puts us in that mindset that, oh my God, this is mine. This is meant to be for me, and no one can take this away from me, which honestly, nothing can be far from the truth. Okay. So I do want to, just reiterate that none of these social media platforms are yours to begin with, any platform for that matter. And there are ways to obviously overcome it, which, we'll talk about it in this episode. But I think getting away from that mindset that these are all temporary and anything can happen is a good way to get started with your mindset on any social media platform. So that being said, let's talk about, the things that we can fix. And I mean, this is something that we can't do anything about, right? I mean, if it gets banned, it gets banned. What do we do next? How do we survive? How do we go about our daily business activities? So the next thing to do, or the thing that you can start doing now, is to look at traditional marketing efforts that have been going on way before all of these social media platforms came into place. And I mean, someone rightfully said it, I don't know who said it, but old is gold. There is a reason why these conventional marketing methods do work, and there is a reason why they have worked in the past. So it can be as basic as, just starting your email list, whatever it is. Focus on growing your email list rather than focusing on growing your followers or growing your subscribers or whatnot. Your primary focus for every single episode you put out there, every single content you put out there, every single thing that you put out there, a reel, a carousel, a podcast episode, a YouTube episode, every single thing has to revolve around growing your email list. Because if any one of these platforms are over tomorrow, they're gone and they're disappeared, you at least have some means of contacting the people who can help you with your business or who are going to, help you sustain, to be honest with you. So I think the first thing that you should do, and this is something that I have been focusing on for a very long time as a marketer and, as someone who was pretty aware that these things can happen, I definitely focus heavily on my email list. So I think this episode is just going to be about me talking about what I have done to kind of ensure that whatever happens, my business is still running. Now, for the most part, your website, yes, there are glitches that can happen. Yes, you can lose your entire website. There have been cases, though, it is a little bit more towards the rare side. There are issues that can come up with your website. But for the most part of it, keeping the same things on your website, your content, your blogs, all of those actually can help you as well. So kind of using your website as a lead generation place is also a great way for you to start, not relying too heavily on one social media platform, and relying on both a social media platform and your website to kind of get you those leads might also be a good place for you to start. Now, I know you're going to look at me and you're going to be like, but Prit, you always keep telling us that you should not focus more than 2 or 3 social media platforms. And yes, absolutely, I still stick by that. Let me be very, very honest with you. If you have more than 2 or 3 social media platforms, it's going to drive you crazy. You're not going to be consistent with your branding. It's just not possible. You're going to be so overwhelmed. You're going to burn out. It's just not worth it. So I personally recommend, if you're doing this all by yourself, 2 to 3 social media platforms. And when you grow a team, then yes, you can focus on more, or you can just choose to use those resources and put those into those 2 or 3 platforms, which honestly I think is the smartest decision to go, because you're fully focusing on those social media platforms. Okay, we detracted a little bit over there, but I just wanted to put that out there just in case, someone needed to hear this today. That was me cracking my knuckles. I don't know why I did that, but I just did. So where were we? Yes, so I know that I do say that, you have to stick to 2 or 3 social media platforms. Yes, but at the same time, it is a healthy way for you to go to also rely a little bit on your website, okay? Traditional methods of marketing, okay? That's maybe, sending out flyers, okay? Those are things that you can work on, brochures, then email list. These are all traditional methods that actually work. Discount coupons, when people come into your office space physically, your business, that can be one of the ways. And then if they visit your website, just try to collect their email addresses as soon as possible, instead of waiting for them to surf around, get bored, and then move out, and then you'll be like, oh, okay, wait, hold on, I need your email address. So, putting freebies on your website, getting their emails as soon as possible is also a great way for you to kind of get a jump start on growing your email list. And basically, I think the point of this podcast episode is focus on getting contact information, whether it is, their accounts on other platforms, or their email, or their phone number, whatever it is. As much as possible, try to make sure that you are getting their contact information, okay? And what else? What else is it that I do? Okay, what you can do also is, all the content that you do put up on social media platforms. This is something that I do as well, guys. I actually do have a hard disk where I put in all my YouTube videos, all my podcast episodes, and yes, I also do put in the carousel posts that I design. Now for Reels, I can't really put them on that, just because, well, I guess I can, but I haven't done that yet, so probably I will start thinking about doing it. But all my podcast content, my YouTube content, my LinkedIn content, and as well my carousel posts that I do post, I put it all on that hard disk. And that hard disk is just titled social media. So anything and everything that I do put on any social media platform, I do put it in that hard disk, in case there is a time that I lose all my information on that site or on that platform. I do have a backup of all of it on my hard disk. So I guess that's a really good way for you to go as well. But at the end of the day, if it goes, then it just goes. I mean, it is something that you have to accept that it might happen. And, building your email list is powerful, guys. Honestly, I want to keep saying it probably all throughout this episode because it is something that people underestimate the value of it, and it's only in times like this that you're like, oh crap, that's how powerful these traditional methods of finding people's contact information, getting their phone number, getting their email address, because so many times I see so many people are so hesitant to even ask for someone's email address. So the next time someone DMs you on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn or wherever, they're like, oh, Prit, can you, like, what is this problem, and how can you tell me a solution to this? Then all you can say, and this is something that has helped me in the past as well, is I don't take requests through DMs, or I don't answer these questions through DMs. Can you please write this as an email and send it to me over at support@themarketingnomad.co? And that's when I get all these emails, and there's a specific email address that I do have that deals with emails like this, right? And that's when I have their email address, I respond to them, and that's how I start nurturing the relationship as well. So if you have been answering to questions in the DMs, there's always a polite way to tell them to email it to you instead. And that's a decision that they have to make. If they really want the answer, they will DM you. And that's the compromise that they have to make, because at the end of the day, you are not running a free service. You are running a business. Guys, don't forget that. You are running a business, okay? At the end of the day, your business needs to sustain. I mean, you're not even going to be around to answer their questions if your business does not, sustain or is not able to continue, because there is a value to your time, whether you are giving out free content or whether you're giving out paid content. And I feel that is so important for you to understand. So I guess me wrapping up this podcast episode is me trying to tell you that these platforms are never yours to begin with. It might be a little bit of a shocker, but try to approach your marketing for these platforms with that perspective in mind. Whether it's your website, even though website is a little bit more stable, I would say, but there have been cases where people have lost all their information on their website and stuff like that. So as much as possible, as quickly as possible, I guess I would say, try to get contact information of your audience. Okay, whether it is delivering value and asking them for their contact information in return, or whether it's asking them for their contact information when they are asking you for free service, or just, a small quick opinion in quotes. Of course, you need to know when to draw the line and say, okay, hey, that's enough of free content, and now it's time for you to, pay up, So yeah, that's basically it. And I think I've given you a ton of tips for you guys to go about this, even though there might not be an impending doom of a ban in your country. These are still pretty valuable tips for you to go about and actually implement, because at the end of the day, these are tips that will help you sustain your business long term, regardless of what happens to the outside world. So it's really nice and good to have these measures to keep your business up and running. And it's also kind of empowering for you not to be dependent on these platforms. So for those of you out there, I know I do have a little bit of a grudge when I say this, but for people who keep saying, oh, you have so few followers, or you have so few subscribers, or what of that. Yes, I may have few followers, I may have few subscribers, but at the same time, my business is pretty much protected from any of those platforms saying bye-bye, and that's more important to me. Okay, making sure I have all of these processes, all of these stuff that keeps my business up, regardless of whether these platforms exist or not. I think that we give way too much value to these platforms, and I say that even as a marketer, even as someone who loves these platforms, you have to understand that these are temporary. Okay, and you have to understand that what exists today might not exist tomorrow for various reasons. But you have to be a little selfish here, yes. And you have to think about your business first, and you have to keep the long-term goals and needs of your business first, okay? So guys, if you are interested in getting an Instagram audit, kind of seeing where you're struggling with marketing, try to, get some insight, get an expert's opinion, kind of figure out long-term Instagram strategies to maybe grow your following, convert your existing followers to email subscribers, I help you with that too. Then feel free to book your audit today. And, for the first 10 people who purchase the Instagram audit, we are actually giving away 100 free Instagram story templates that help you specifically with engagement boosting. I hope boosting is a word, guys. I don't know. It feels like podcast episodes are just a way for me to make up words. And for those of you who are looking to grow your business, and you're just looking for marketing strategies and stuff like that, I do offer one-on-one consultations at the moment. So all of these are in the description box below, as well as some of the free resources that you guys can check out as well. So feel free to check it out. It's all in the description box below. And that's basically it, guys. This is me wrapping up this podcast episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did shooting it. And I will catch you guys in another podcast episode. I upload podcast episodes from Monday to Friday, and they're always released at 7 a.m. EST. And guys, I usually talk about marketing, Instagram, and business strategy as well. And for those of you who liked this podcast episode, please do give me a thumbs up or leave me a review, because those really help in my ranking, helps me help more people just like you. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please do leave me a comment. Please definitely do take a screenshot of this, you listening to this podcast, tag me on Instagram at @themarketingnomad. I definitely would love to see, how you guys are doing, what you guys thought of this episode, and all of those things. All right, guys, the bye went a little bit too long, but here's me signing off. Take care, and I will see you in another podcast episode. Bye, guys.